When was the last time you've seen some wasted potential? There is no other game like Dying Light's PvP. It is truly unique and it has so much depth to it. I also met some of my best friends that I still talk to after 6 years from DL's PvP. It's also one of the main reasons I'm known for. All of this praising though, and yet Dying Light's PvP is one of the most shit-talked and neglected thing everybody hates to go near. Why is that? Allow me to introduce you to Dying Light's PvP like how Dying Light's PvP introduces its players, by throwing them straight in with little to no training. Nah, I'm just joking, I have more respect for you than Techland does for their PvP players. You see, in other game tutorials, they take the time out of their day to help you understand the basics and fundamentals of their mechanics. Dying Light is having none of that shit though. It's understandable at least because it relies on the invasion system, so why would you want people to know that you're coming? It kind of defeats the whole surprise. But if you flip the page over, you realize that you're pairing up a baby with an alligator. Because unlike the human side, Night Hunter actually has a pre-game lobby where you can train and learn certain skills. With humans though, you basically get no, and I mean no training at all. And the only time you do is when you die. You get these hints that give you jack too little shit. Now you may think that the baby versus alligator comparison is unfair. Well, if the human knows at least a little bit of how the game works, then imagine that the alligator got their mouth shut and it's also a baby, but the human baby got injected with steroids. And yes, he could handle it, okay? Just fucking go with it. Because a low level Night Hunter, if they don't have the tackle skill yet, the only thing they could do is ground pound or pounce. And both moves could be easily avoidable. So the best thing they could do is just keep throwing themselves at the humans until they get enough skill points to unlock tackle and faster tendril speed. Techland also loves to shove invasions in people's faces for some weird ass reason. Like when you enter a safe zone or when night arrives, you always get reminded that invasions are your thing. And they're also one of the greatest ways to get gold weapons. By the time you reach the rank underdog, that's when you start getting gold weapons to the point where they don't even have any value anymore. Most people don't get past phase 1, and honestly, you must have so much better stuff to do in your life if you didn't stick around after that. You may have noticed that every clip in this video is modded in some way, and that is no coincidence. Cheaters and modders are everywhere, and I mean literally everywhere. Even on console, you are not safe. You see, you may think I'm over exaggerating or bullshitting you here, but I'm really not. And they come in all shapes and sizes too. They can be as small as changing the color of an item to a cheat table or even a whole ass developer menu. And if you don't like someone, you could always crash their game. You can change literally everything and anything. I mean shit dude, everything that's already in the base game can be exploited so hard that it's difficult to differentiate it from being a modded value sometimes. Some cheaters act like they don't know that they're cheating. I guess they do this to try to fool some new players, or they're scared that Techland might ban them. They also have the audacity to call you a cheater when you manage to beat the living fuck out of them. But it is what it is. I don't really care anymore at this point. I just thought I should share that because, I don't know, maybe they might have gotten one of you guys. This is one of the main/many reasons why this mode is hated on. And Techland is aware of this problem, but they aren't doing anything about it yet. DLR, which stands for Dying Light Rebuild, is a mod made entirely by Fear, which aims to rebalance the whole PvP mode. All they have to do is drag and drop the files. But there was this one time where they did that, right? But they ended up putting the wrong version, and the dropkicks were doing less damage than they were supposed to. So yes, Techland fucked up dragging and dropping a file. You cannot make this shit up. They are also adding it little by little for some reason. But when this happened, the PvP community, we weren't mad, just disappointed. But why should we care? I mean, Dying Light Bad Blood literally has a anti-cheat system. There's really no hope. Now, it's no small sign when there is any type of PvP in a game, there are gonna be some people that treat it like if their life depended on it. It's kinda just a given in gaming, I guess. But being competitive in Dying Light is such a big fucking shit show. Like I said earlier, You can change literally anything, so everyone is just complaining and pointing fingers at each other. Then sprinkle in some ego and you got yourself one hell of a dish that just can't stop being on fire. The best part is there isn't any ranked matchmaking or something like that. So the casual players, right? They end up getting caught in the crossfire. These players are also the reason why Dying Light's PvP has so much depth to it, because they're the only ones that constantly try to get the upper hand against the other person. So they just keep experimenting with the game. They quite literally know the game inside out, like if it's Operation or some shit. And when someone finds out something revolutionary, two things happen. One, well actually very quickly, they always keep it a secret, that's just a fact. But one is that they tell someone that they shouldn't have, and that one person starts spreading it like a wildfire, thus causing some controversy and drama like always. Or they do it so much where people just analyze them enough to where they could put the pieces together. In short, it's mostly just modders versus modders. Oh yeah, and everything's peer-to-peer connection. Oh my god. You thought the Mariana Trench had depth? Nah. Dying Light has more depth than your uncle at a fucking pizza party. I don't know, I couldn't make a fucking joke there. Techland just tells you what the skill does and how to activate it. They don't tell you how you should use it, when's the best time to use it, or what's even the best way to use it. For example, tackle, just sprint, press this button, it happens. It doesn't tell you that it can be evaded, and it sure as shit doesn't tell you the optimal way to use it. There's also a skill that makes you tendril faster, but it doesn't tell you how to reach your maximum speed. Ramping, grapple evade, ledge tackles, backslide, or any type of sliding for that matter, dodge drop kicks, underwater pounce, GP spit, tendril claw, using howl or UV block to GP faster, clip tackle, ET fucking C. Do you get it yet? Stuff like this is what makes PvP special, you know, the fact that there's something more than what meets the eye. You combine this with the fact that there's parkour in the game. Any little fuck up you do, it's so fast paced. Every split decision you make, like Dying Light's one, like the PvP. Your decisions matter more than anything in Dying Light 2. I shut the door on this dude, ain't no way. I'm coming. Imagine seeing something like this in esports and the whole crowd just fucking goes wild. The game can also be very unpredictable. Oh my god. Oh, we got cooked by the door. There is this bug that could happen, and it's been a thing ever since PvP was out, where a suicide bomber could just teleport to you and insta-kill you. Sometimes it doesn't insta-kill you, other times it just feels like jump scaring you, but hopefully I already made my point, right? There is this special event that happened way back then that everybody is familiar with, but back then they implemented it in Dying Light's PvP and everybody loved it, to death even. It was the most fun event ever. You could ask anyone and they would probably say that this is their #1 event that they loved and missed. Techland never brought it back after that, and every event they did after was just fucking dog shit. Well, besides the moon gravity, that was like my second favorite. Everybody misses PvP hyper mode. It was so fun and special to the point where I just think it was worth its own little category. Hopefully they bring it back, but I don't think they will. The best thing we could do right now is start some sort of movement. Something like hashtag bring back PvP hyper mode. But I don't think anyone cares anymore now that Dying Light 2's out. Yet, no one's gonna forget about this fun ass event. A lot of people really wish that PvP was in Dying Light 2 the second it came out, because they say it could add more replayability and it keeps the game alive. But if that's really true, then tell me why it takes 5 years to get a hunter that just leaves in 2 seconds. However, Dying Light recently beat Dying Light 2 in play counts, so I guess you got me in that. But nobody likes beat a zombie, besides like 5 people. So then tell me how to... Look, okay, I'm going off topic. So, there isn't any PvP in Dying Light 2 at the making of this video, but in one of the Kyle Crane Easter eggs you could find in Dying Light 2, there is a wall full of photos of Kyle Crane, and one of those photos is the Night Hunter. I don't know if this confirms him being the Night Hunter. It is an Easter egg after all, so it could really mean anything. But something that most of you guys don't know is that there's actually Beat a Zombie files in Dying Light 2. Now this doesn't really confirm Beat a Zombie coming into Dying Light 2, because Dying Light Bad Blood has the same thing, but it can mean, well, something. If you ask me, I do think PvP is coming into Dying Light 2. The only thing I don't get though is that it's just gonna be a shit show just like the first one. So everybody's just waiting to get pissed off. Actually, I just put 2 seconds of thought into it. Everybody just wants a new Dying Light PvP experience that isn't Bad Blood, Or Dying Lights 1 beat a zombie. Okay, now I'm in line to get ready to get pissed off. Whether Techland keeps choosing to ignore it or not, they've made a fucking hidden gem. Something really special. The PvP community are some very dedicated people, but they have been put in the wrong path. Now they just hate everything Techland does. There's been moments where they try to patch out, well, literally anything, but they're so dedicated that they always find a way to bring it back. I get it, they're going the PvE route because that's where the money's at, and that's what everybody knows their game for, but still they shouldn't be turning a blind eye. One of my friends literally brought the Dying Lights Bad Blood Rain Death animation into Dying Lights Beat a Zombie. It was very scuffed, but it looked cool and it was something new nonetheless. I'm not gonna try to convince the PvP players to be like, oh, you should support Techland. They're ignoring you because you keep hating on them. No, I've been a PvP player since late 2015. I know how it feels. Still, I will admit that some of the lengths they go to is a little too absurd sometimes.
Ooh, oldest trick in the book.